what I will say, Rachel and I would walk in the neighborhood.
If it works for you.
I didn't work by the road, meet some of the neighbors and stuff. It is one lady, she was so funny. She said, I will say, Rachel and I would walk. She could see that. We literally. We're not. We switched a lot of. We switched a lot of.
All right, so it's 3 p.m. And I like getting started on time so that we can end on time. I want to welcome you all to the Hernando Community Conversations, our monthly meeting here. My name is Reverend Dr. Emery Ailes. I'm the chair of this meeting. Brother Walter Moore, he is the co-chair, who is also the exalted ruler. He is indisposed right now. In fact, the Elks is having their national convention up in Jacksonville right this moment for this weekend. And right after this, that's where I will be going up to the convention. And so Baltimore sends you greetings. Let's just go around the room and everyone could just introduce themselves real quickly, and then we'll have a motion to accept the agenda. Welcome, Angel Gonzalez. And you are from? Spring Hill and Pristine Baptist Church. Yes. Amen. Praise God. Welcome, Angel.
I am David Phillipson. I'm an actor for the bus, and I live in Southwest.
Welcome, David Phillipson. Welcome, Miss Everett. And we have Brother Kojak there, who is just listening there, and we have Mr. Bolo, and you just came in at right on time. So introduce yourself to us and let us move forward in the meeting.
Keep there going on down here, so we can, like, if possible, if we get up on that day.
All right, so we have done introductions for those who are here right now. I'm sure there will be people coming as well. So if we just take a moment to look at the agenda and look at all of the items on the agenda, and if everyone agrees to all of these items, then I would entertain a motion to accept the agenda as it is written. Mm-hmm. It's been moved.
With the necessary corrections.
It has been moved and second. It has been moved and second that we accept the agenda with the necessary corrections. All those in favor say aye.
Okay.
All right, we have a little bit of unreadiness.
CRE, yeah, put that strong state, not that information. And the CRE number you gave me also do it.
Okay, we'll make that correction. And we'll put exalted ruler here, who is not here for right now, but we'll put him there temporarily. Exalted ruler. Any other corrections? All right, so there's been a motion to accept the agenda with the necessary corrections. Is there a second? All right, it's been moved and seconded that we accept the agenda with the necessary corrections. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, there are none. Motion accepted. Are we going to table the reading of the minutes? I don't have any that are written. However, we are here. This is election season. And we are in one of the most important times of this year. And in fact, in times of our times, I would believe. And so we've been scouring the neighborhood with literature, with education, with information on voters registration, on the candidates who are running. We have had here. We have sponsored several candidates forums here, and others have sponsored candidate forums as well. So moving right into the primary election 2024 elected official and candidates portion on this agenda, I'm going to turn this over to some people who are here that are running for elected office to tell us where they are right now and what is the plan moving forward. Hold on for 1 second. What is the plan, your plan moving forward? Because we're right in the throes of it. I do know that Saturday starts early election, early voting. Okay. And we have right across the street here, a polling place, right? So, because I have some concerns, but I want to hear from the candidates first, and then we'll bring it back to the chair to talk about my concerns.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Well, I don't know if you're going with that. I've actually been working on helping my campaign, and Angel was with me one day. We went through Southbrookville, walked house to house, talked to a lot of the community members. Actually, got a lot of parties because they want a voice in this upcoming election. Explained a lot of the voting process and what, why they can't vote, what will happen in November. So we worked with them. Also, we got 5 polling areas coming up. We're going to need help with signs and educating people on what's going on in our community. If this is not about favoritism or being friends with somebody, you need to do your research. What is that candidate going to bring to the table? What are they going to do?
Now, I'm glad you said that. And I'm glad you said that because you are representing this particular community here. You're running for this particular, like this area specifically, right? Which is area what? District 5. District 5. And which district?
I'm in District 3. That's over there in the Winky Water. Yeah, Royal Highlands.
And you have one candidate that's running against you. You're running against an individual, Mr. Champion. And you're running against about 2 or 3 people. Am I correct?
What's good? The dynamic now is, okay, I'm an NPA. Okay, so forthcoming on the 20th, John Laco and Marvin Lane will be in the primary. Whoever comes out of that primary will be in the general election with myself and Luciano Vignali, who's a Democrat. That's the dynamic of the seat for you.
John Laco, Marvin, and who else?
They'll be coming out of the primary.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I'll have the primary. And so I'll be waiting on him. Luciano, maybe it looks like big knowledge.
Yes. Yes.
He's a Democrat. He has no opponent in the primary, so he doesn't need the primary. So he's already in the general election.
So now he's been also invited to these forums as well. I just want you to know, everyone is invited to these forums. Okay.
I'm sorry.
For how long that person Democratic that doesn't have nobody that's not in this election?
No, sir, he sure does. He's the only Democrat in the election, so he doesn't have to.
So you got a position no matter what.
Right. He'll be in the November 5th election automatically. That's I don't even remember when you had to clarify when the Democrat didn't declare other than Luciano, he automatically goes to the general election opposed to the primary.
The beauty of that also is every everybody gets to vote in there. Whether it's Republican, Democrat, and VA, it doesn't matter your party affiliation. The only time it matters is if but in Burton's case, everybody, no matter what the party affiliation is, will be allowed to vote.
Okay, so, excellent. So we're gonna get there, because that's in the general. But this primary is important. This area is important. As you all know, we've been in this area, myself, I've been working in this area, boots on the ground, for the past 10 years since we planted. But way before I got here, this place was neglected, dilapidated, and a lot of it has come because of the systems that be. The past 4 years, along with Richard Howell, who is not here now, we've had boots on the ground and in the trenches, literally. We've come up with plans, written plans with the budget, from Easy all the way to Josephine Street, up and down MLK. That also includes this spot here. And it has nothing has been. I have given a copy of this myself personally to those seats that to the people who are occupying those seats now, and still nothing has been done. Now, I do have to say we have gotten some dumpsters out here. We have done some beautiful community beautification.
Wasn't too either, but that did county commissioners, they did nothing to do with it. It was government structures and so let's be.
And then now we just had a humongous storm. And I want to turn this portion of the presentation over to someone who experienced it firsthand, and he lives here. Brother David, you want to talk about just a little bit?
You all know I live in a group home on the street. As the storm came in, I watched the news, watched the radar. I was hooked up with the county when the alerts go out. You know, I get an alert on my phone. What I witnessed was the road flooded in front of the house on St. Francis. The road, the water almost, you know, it didn't come into the house, thank God for that.
Yeah.
But I saw, I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna deny that I would have been like, oh no, what do we do if there's, you know, more damage? You know, if that water comes in to the house, who's gonna repair my furniture if it gets damaged? Because my mother was concerned. She's like, oh, well, I'm sure Joaquina's son, Willie, will get sandbags. Oh, no, didn't get sandbags. No. I never experienced a flood. Okay, like I've seen maybe water when it rains and we get a torrential downpour. It you know, it just rains and rains and rains, and you see it in the yard. This is different, you know, that was a little different. And there, when night came, the ditches were still kind of overflowing. But the water, I think, receded. I couldn't, it was mostly during the day. So, and the other thing I had to talk about was I had a meeting the following day, you know what I'm referring to. So I had to call the county, tell the county, hey, the road is, the street, I'm sorry, we don't have roads down here. The street is
That's
flooded.
another thing they don't, that's it. Another,
Huh?
Go ahead, something about the roads and the streets, the infrastructure needs to be
Yeah.
talked about too. Go ahead.
So, you know, and they're like, oh, we'll plan accordingly. I'm like, okay. So thank God the water receded and went away. And I'm like, and I'm driven around today by the group home's son. So when I was driven there, I saw all the ditches and I looked
Mm.
and I saw the ditches and I'm going, okay, yeah, some of this stuff really needs to be repaired or, not repaired, but fixed
Mhm.
or looked after, whether it's the community, whether it's the county,
Mhm.
something. But that's crazy. If it got worse, to where like in St. Pete, where the people were in the water, dogs were on paddle boards. People were taking their possessions
Mm.
and putting it in kayaks or
Mm.
canoes or what, I saw it on TV. So,
No, I'm,
no. I would be like, oh, no.
well, that's what I said, I got proof to back everything you.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
videos of this neighborhood.
Right, and I did too, I got this from online too. And I don't care what penis is anymore, it's like, you got water, if you got water damage, you got water damage, somebody's gonna be paying,
Mhm.
paying for repairs here,
Mhm.
you know?
Thank you, Brother David.
Sorry.
And I am so sorry that you had to experience
And it wasn't
what the
just,
residents have been experiencing down here for decades. So, you're a voice for the voices right now. I'm sorry, I did see your hand earlier.
Yeah, I know you didn't get my gift earlier. Yeah. Earlier, I was trying to get you to make sure you sell phone, make sure you put out in the restroom. Open the business up first, so everybody knows when you went into that. But since you didn't even go now, I don't need to do that. All right, but that was why I was raising my hand when we got going,
Yes,
so everybody know where the restroom was.
Yes, sir.
But what you were trying to say there, they're creating lots of stuff, no matter what you do, unless you have a good thing, they don't have a plan for it. Nobody got a plan for what happened. That plan don't create that, because I know about that plan there too, because I've been here. When Debbie come in, you cannot complain when out of the seat of the water flows. That's a hurricane and stuff coming through. You can't plan for that on general. Now, if they had cleaned that ditches out like we had nights before here, we wouldn't have had that much of a problem, but under God Act, when you have so much water coming in, you're gonna have them things like that. But they would have had somewhere to go. But the county kept on hollering, it's a resident, but the residents never did put that ditch back there. They put that ditch through there,
Thank you.
and the county needed to take the general, because they probably stopped, they're probably gonna go in the ditch. County trying to say that, probably go to the ditch, probably gonna go in the ditch.
Thank you.
So now how you gonna measure property in a ditch when you don't have no control of it? Somebody hit the wrong key, it's saying the property goes in the ditch, property don't go in the ditch. I know that for a fact, because I got property out here. When they survey the property, it don't go in the ditch. So everybody cannot go in the ditch. So don't let them come in with that BS garbage, tell you that. Property ain't never go in the ditch. That ditch was made from up the road and come down to go out there. Property owner didn't have no control in there. And they don't want to put a cover in there, that could solve a lot of issues. You dig it out, keep it clean now, water will flow, but they don't do that, they let it build up over a period of time. That's gonna kill you water, right? And this ain't the first time that happened down here, it's the first time trying to experience that. But when that ditch overrun with too much water on it, you'll have that kind of stuff coming down there, all in your yard and stuff. But they usually sell it down because of the transition up under it. But when the rain stops, the same thing at the credit, they down low there. When it rains, it's overfilled out. But you got to have some kind of mechanism, but they don't keep the ditch clean. And we got to have the whole problem, we've been talking about that for the longest, the last 5 years, they ain't cleaned the ditch, they come in trying to put it on the property owner. So, when you bring that ditch from up there, nobody said put that ditch there. You didn't cover, you cover some ditches, you cover that ditch right there and keep it clean now, you won't have no problem, I think. But my experience.
Thank you, Mr. Kojak.
We're looking at the video.
So, go ahead. So,
There's a video of this neighborhood here. Watching the water flow, the infrastructure, your roads are about 3 feet higher than the houses. So water travels down. Had they watched, like I said, you watch the flow of it, if they had the proper drainage by the driveways and maybe even a shallow ditch to make the water flow go towards what Kojak is saying, travel it to the ditch for the water to go away. But the way that the infrastructure is laid out, all water travels towards the homes, flooding them. And in this video, it got up to about 2.5, 3 feet. Because the water is running off the road this way versus traveling towards the ditch. It's not, the infrastructure doesn't even show the flow of the water going in the right direction. Well, there is none. Most of it's flat, but most houses are lower than the road.
So,
Your houses in this neighborhood are lower than the road. So we need ditches and front along or some part of a drainage to travel the water, so it does flow towards the ditch. And if the ditch is full of garbage and stuff, it's, again, you're gonna have the other issues.
so we're still on, so we're still on elected officials. Y'all respond to, y'all, go ahead, yeah, you got the floor.
So we're talking about some drainage right now, some infrastructure, is that the subject at hand?
Yeah,
Now, I know, I remember coming to a previous meeting where I met Mr. Koja, and this issue came up, and it sounds like what South Brooksville is running into is with the ditches and stuff, and clearing everything out, is the county saying, no, this is private property. And the private property owner saying, no, it's county property. Okay, my reaction is, for one thing, we know what's going on past here, okay? We know about the plan, we know about the history of this place. Okay, I remember a nice lady at the county grief meeting where I met you. She was saying, you know, look, it was back, way back years ago. I was there when it came and took it. You know, regardless of the records that they have down the county commission, right? And to be fair, that's what they can go on. But I think that we also need to come down here before all of us, Canyon County commissioners in this county, and listen to these families who have been in this area for like Eric Riggins, for instance, his family's been here for 4 generations. And I'm sure many people in this South Brooksville area have too, and to trust what they're saying. And to me, my reaction to this is, look, the county will, with the cleaning out the ditches, the county's telling these folks, no, that's your private property. We can't do that. My reaction to that is, if that was private property, y'all wouldn't have put the ditches in there. You wouldn't, you're not gonna go on somebody's property and let it, and then if you did so, okay, somewhere on record is gonna be, they're gonna have legal consent. So my thing would be, okay, if that's supposedly private property and you put in city or county utilities in there, you're gonna have to get their express written permission. You just can't go knock on the door and say, hey, that's gonna have to be formal. And if so, where is that document? If there's nobody signing away those rules, to me, that's just common sense. If that's private property, then how'd y'all put a ditch in there?
Can I explain that for a minute?
And they can't clean it because it's on private property.
Can I explain that for a
Tree that
minute?
you're talking
If it was
about?
private property, they would have put a
What
ditch in there.
happened? What happened?
this is community conversation. This is what we're here for. Go ahead.
They got just about everybody's signature to clean the ditch. To go on their property, everybody give them permission, but it was too relative for them, but then they come out and say, the ditch was their property, But when they got permission to go on their property, get down in the ditch, remember that, Ralph? We had time, got everybody, we had petition. They claimed we had to do that first.
Right.
That didn't work out in their advantage, then they come back and tell us, it's private property. How the heck is private property? You got my permission to go down in that ditch off of my property. If anything happened, everybody was given permission to go in that ditch.
Okay.
Because we was on that committee and we got it notarized. Then they come out at the last minute with the staff, come up with this Rick-a-Rocker crap, and this is what we came down and told. BS God. Because they come down here that day and said it's the citizen problem. No, it's the county crap you run that against you. They're in the city, because we ain't give you permission. So all of a sudden now, how you gonna make us wanna clean it out? When you had promised to clean that ditches out, and they failed on there. Then they try to refresh it.
So what I'm hearing is, I stand corrected. In fact, they did get explicit permission, but even if they did, any reasonable person, and this is like what I would say to the commissioner, any reasonable person would assume, okay, we're gonna put the ditch in, that means we're gonna maintain it as well. And so they're not, any reasonable person would assume that, okay, if the county comes, put some, if I let them put some in my yard, any reasonable person would assume that the county is going to continue to maintain it. So what you're saying is indeed, they did have permission at, in essence, put it, but they don't, now they're saying, that's not our problem because it's on private property.
That's
And
correct.
then you're running into another
Okay.
issue. Okay, this person signed it, but this land might have more than one family member on the deed. Well, you don't have all their signatures. So they're kind of pulling that back.
And if they're dead, I'm sorry,
Yeah, no.
if they've passed, should we say it like that? If those individuals have passed on, that are on the deed, and they've had, people that are on the deeds have passed on, that creates an even bigger issue. Because,
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, most land in this area is almost on my.
Or is, not hereditary, inherited, inherited. Some people inherit money, some people inherit land. Some, in my case, I inherited a TV. But we'll get to that later. You know,
Family of five,
Right.
five of them inherited it.
But we stopped that problem too. If at least they had, except the one they could get them dead. They signed, had them to sign it, they signed it, it was notarized. So we solved that problem too, because each time you come up, somebody try to bring something in, but the thing was, we recognized the problem, we were quickly solved, then they had to come up with something new. Right, Brad? So we had that same issue you talked about. And the only reason I'm speaking on this issue, because I was part of that process. And I know what happened, and we did do all what we need to do, had to put together, came over that person too, let them figure out, then they come up with other PS topics. So we're not talking about something that we don't know nothing about. So we have did all that, we had everybody who signed, we notarized, legal notarized, but they always need to notarize. We solve all that issue. Then they come up with this other little crap, like I tell you, they're trying to say, it's a problem, and the problem is only when you do the dog on the cow should, the cow don't even go to it. So now how this property gonna be ours, and then the cow don't go to it, they stop at the edge of there. So how in the heck that ditch is out when you made that come through there yourself? Nobody purchased it. That's something you did, but now you don't want to come. Before they used to clean that ditch a long time ago. We brought that up to them, then they tried to wig out it. Because they never got behind it and they didn't maintain it.
Now, look, this is, I feel that really this kind of thing, it at some point, you just want somebody on that darn commission or somebody say, hey, never mind all this discussion, can we just help these people out?
Right.
Quit all this dancing. And come, stop the technicalities and just go do it. Excuse me.
No,
It's all right.
No,
It's all right.
about-
It's all
it's
right.
about working
Because
together.
this is what you're feeling is what
We
the
just
residents
go,
have
it's
been feeling
government,
here
yeah.
for, like I said, for
Yeah.
decades. And it's just unfortunate that, for the Davis here,
Yeah.
who is now a resident here, has experienced it firsthand as well. And so, this being the primary, you see that what we're up, and the individual who is over this area, he knows what has been going on here. So at some point, there needs to be a change, either,
Well,
you
you
know,
have to get
like you said, he would have to do something or someone else. Go ahead.
You have to have representation that's gonna be involved also. I mean, what, didn't you say the last meeting I was at, that your district commissioner has never attended in 4 years, any meeting over here?
Well, he hasn't been
You
here.
can't,
at the
you
community
can't have
conversation.
representation.
Because they got in the CRA, that's over there at the county bond. So they do the CRA, because you on that commission, but the CRA, because it's his district, that's all we got for that.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
I'm just
okay.
doing the correction, but.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
that's right,
okay.
that was the only one.
Yeah.
And he's been in office for 4 years. I mean, come on. You represent this community. You say you're going to serve this community. It means everyone in this community.
So now let's talk about,
And he got a business in the community, but that's
Two
two
of
of them. Two, got
So-
two of them. That's good. In the community, but he don't come down because he worry about that boat round out there in Twin View.
so then let me ask, what kind of, you said we've been going door to door? And what kind of door to door, yeah, what kind of responses have we been getting?
They are not happy. They were very upset when the Angel.
Okay,
They do not like
Okay.
what's happening. They don't like the representation.
Okay.
They feel they're being ignored. When they do go ask for help,
okay.
it's falling on deaf ears.
Early voting stops on Saturday. You think we can start getting people out to do early voting? Those
Saturday
same
and Sunday
people,
will be good days.
those same people,
Previous primaries, your weekends were better because most people don't work. And it's 9 to 5. Well, 9 to 5 hours are during the working day. So your weekends are your better
mhm,
times.
mhm, mhm,
Your spring home,
Mhm,
honestly, your spring
mhm,
home one was
mhm,
the libraries,
mhm,
that's one.
mhm.
That's the most visited one.
David, I know that you're working on captains, right?
Yes,
How's that coming along?
not well,
Not
not good.
community captains?
It's
That's all
just
right.
me and one other guy. They're all
Okay.
around.
Okay, you got two people there.
Yeah, I got 2 people. When it gets to like maybe 10 people, if I can, and I'll give you the copy of the flyer. I think you got it.
Sure.
But-
Because I think that even through that and through the captains, maybe we can mobilize individuals to come out and to vote as well. One last thing, and then we'll move on to the Community Impact Education Committee. Do we have, and this is for the residents as well, do we have anyone in mind to work the poll across the street?
They already have the poll working already.
Yeah, the poll workers are all set.
They already been established. Nobody
Yeah,
else.
they have to.
They have to have a training to go
Yeah,
work the poll.
you have to-
They have to put that in early. They just can't go over there and work the poll. Nobody on this side, you have people on this side working the poll, but they got out of it, but to their advantage somehow.
At this point, all you guys are sign waivers on the outside of on the property there. So as far as campaigning or,
and
speaking to the public, you do not cross that line. That's already a done deal. People applied for that months ago. I want to say almost a year ago.
I don't understand. We don't cross the line.
They set up a boundary, so many feet from the
150 feet away from the poll.
From the
you
poll.
can't-
that encompasses, you do not cross that line. So like when you see the signs, everybody will come out with signs out prior to the election. They're all along the road, they're over by the oak tree. There are none on the property.
Okay.
And then the ones that do hold signs, they're pretty much on the road. Because they can't go on.
Proper line on the poles over there.
Yeah.
Where the ditch is at right
Alright.
there.
Yeah, you're
On the
off to the side.
That's
Okay.
gonna be 150. They can't put that in front of my gate, because that's supposed to be 150 feet, because they don't take measure off. They don't walk it off, they take measure off,
Oh, yeah.
and they tell you where you can't be. You have to pass down there, close down there about a welding shop, and put something down there, because that's more than 50 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they gonna have a line where you cannot go and put nothing there,
Okay.
or stand in front of,
Nothing.
that's part of the whole rule.
Okay.
And you have to be within 150 feet above that. That 150 feet to do your stuff, you can't have no litigation in front of that 150 feet in front of the door.
Okay.
You cannot do it, next thing you don't have no sign on our fence, because that's part of the 150 feet. You come up there to the fence line.
Okay.
And where it's
Alright,
at is
alright.
the fence line on the opposite side of the driveway. So anything over there on the opposite side and in front, so that's where you'll see everybody congregates, right
Okay.
there on the opposite side of the driveway.
Okay. Just concerned that, want to make sure everything's transparent and,
You
there's
do
nothing
none of that,
happening.
'cause I
Yeah.
don't work the pole, I don't
Okay.
get out there, and I do 150 feet.
Okay, good
So they
enough.
can get a measure,
Good enough.
double check it, make sure it's 100.
Good enough. Good enough.
But sometimes they go 155 feet.
Good enough. Good enough.
So if they say 150 feet, if you go that other 5, that throws you off, so you have to make sure you double check it, and then check it from the door down, or they'll come from the sidewalk. You know how they gonna check, that's what we have to keep, we get you 150 feet there.
Good.
Another example is the Spring Hill Library. It's on the other side of the sidewalk. So it's between the road and the sidewalk, so unless you can stand the sides.
All right.
They've gotten it pretty well marked, so like when you pull in, you grab your stuff and you get it out of it.
All right. And then one last thing, you know, the Elks Lodge, we do offer advertisement on our fence. We sent you the advertisement. And if you're interested in advertising on the fence as well, you can advertise on the fence as well. I can give you the flyer as well.
Not campaigning, ain't advertised campaign signs on our pitch, but that's part of it's our thing, that's what happened before. And you not have campaign signs up, you're putting for the party. Can't do that, cause you're nonpartisan, you can't have a campaign sign on the pitch, advertising for the nonpartisan person.
So what kind of
So-
advertisement?
So they have to,
do you have?
they can't put their campaign sign, they have to put the individual sign up there, but not campaign sign.
Okay,
But to get them, but if they come into a campaign, you have to take it off because that's part of the rule. And only none of that, so
well,
I'm over that department.
we'll
none of that.
describe now, because I know that Mr. Burrow asked me as well. So describe what type of sign that he's able to put up here now.
Basically, no political sign.
That's what I'm saying.
So no political sign.
That's why I asked my
So-
sign, because you can place my signs, they can't be there.
Okay.
They're,
You
because,
can't endorse candidates.
Yeah.
That's equivalent to endorsing a candidate.
So if you put a sign with his name on it,
And a political affiliation on it, running for an office or whatever, you can't do that.
no.
I was saying, 'cause I don't have a political affiliation.
Yeah,
I'm still-
so you don't have.
Okay.
You can't put no,
Well, I had no.
the yellow at it.
you get that say, put his own personal sign, but not for running for no office.
Yeah, his own personal sign.
Like them church
Like, you
signs,
know,
different.
AMM version below, that's it.
Yeah, that's all they can put up.
Right. I just wanted to be clear so that he knows what to do. Right, that's all.
You don't want to get caught up in that.
Yeah. All right.
Well, there's a special 501c category, and that determines
Yeah.
what the behavior is.
All right, good enough. So we're gonna table community impact because the provost nor Ms. Kincaid is here.
Well, in that book bag giveaways all over the place,
I don't know.
yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I can't tell you which one, but
Last weekend.
I know they were having them everywhere.
Yeah, I can't say that.
Yeah.
PHSC's book bag giveaway,
I
go
don't
ahead.
know if it was the PHSC book bag, but I just think from an education standpoint.
Yeah, we used to do one down here before our school shot down in the else we do it with too. They have some young ladies do book bags out here. I think it was on the calendar, but I don't wanna say because it makes me look bad.
Mount Pleasant completed a summer reading initiatives and things like that. For students that they encourage them to continue to read during the summer.
And also we had the Moon 60-year reunion. That's part of the community home on the 27th, right?
Yeah, and
I don't see that either, but I didn't know it happened.
I understand there were several elected officers there.
All right, good enough. The summit, June 16th summit, made the papers. So I don't know if you all got the most recent copy of the Hernando Sun. But right there, on the front page, right there on the bottom, there's the article. It starts the article, and then if you turn to, I believe it's page A4, there's a whole additional write-up there on the summit. Will we address the fentanyl pandemic? And the 9 individuals lost their lives here in this in this community in Hernando County, and we talked about ways we can intervene. The Naloxone 9, we had some Naloxone 9 that was on hand as well. And it was a great turnout. Ms. Montero Black, Dr. Rod Cunningham, and once again, Dean Shauna Kincaid. We also had a representative of the NAACP Youth Council, Yana Clemson, the president there. She did phenomenally well on the panel as we intervened to help save lives. as a result, out of that, and she's not here, they should be on their way. They were supposed to be here today, but Dream Girls was an idea that came out of that. Oh, yeah.
But we got rid of Dream Girl, we put down Queen. They had say you Queen for the next summit, because we don't want to do Dream Girl, because all the young ladies would be a queen.
Dream
They-
Queens,
in
Dream
that- in
Queen,
that-
you're
in
right,
that, scenario,
you're right,
they probably had used the queen in there. They was
Right.
In there, and they carried a bit away with all the females, and they were saying they was the queen.
yes,
So that killed that with the little male thing, you ain't nothing to say, because females was the queen.
yes,
Check everything down, it's supposed to be queen, not just
Yes.
queen.
You're absolutely right.
What they want to be called queen. They don't
you're
want to be
absolutely
called-
right.
Go
Thank you.
ahead, I didn't want to add.
No, you're
anything.
absolutely right. Thank you for that, thank you for that, and thank you for that. The Fall Summit, and once again, out of that, July 16th summit, another idea for the Fall Summit would be to come back and address prostate cancer and domestic abuse. That is in October, am I correct?
Didn't you mention prostate cancer or, yeah, right. There's a thing called Movember, where men will grow out their mustaches for prostate awareness. And people will, you could raise money for cancer research for men, just like breast cancer, where the women have breast cancer. Cancer doesn't matter. Cancer is cancer.
Yeah, let me just take a moment there, because we kind of don't really talk about that. I know that earlier this morning on the Lifeline, we have a weekly Lifeline on Zoom. I want to invite you all to come on every Thursday at 9 a.m. from 9 to 10. But one of the topics that we did discuss today was prostate cancer, and we heard from one who was an overcomer of prostate cancer. That's what he called himself. He said he's not prostate cancer survivor, he's a prostate cancer overcomer. I learned that it was a silent killer today. I learned that we as men, and because we are top heavy in men today here, that we don't discuss it because of whatever. Yeah, right. But I want to kind of open it up and just for discussion so that we can kind of normalize it and begin to normalize it here so that we can begin to, just understand what it is, get comfortable, with the conversation. I understand, it might be embarrassing because, it deals with maybe a sexual organ or what have you. But I think that if we continue this discussion, right, we can kind of like normalize it and then hopefully be prevented. I learned a lot about PSA and getting checked annually, which is very, very important. And I believe that the life we may save may be our very own if we begin to broach this discussion. Just open it up for.
Right, I started out, like, council used to be kind of bad, but now it'll come out just like Pete. Pete used to be bad for a man to wear teeth. Now during October, you see more pink around and recognize all types of council. So they make it a little bit more easy that you can talk about it on different level, and they make a good date for it. They do October for council. So they'll make it a little bit more than we had before, more awareness. And you see all yesterday during October month, they always have pink on. And that's what made men to come out wearing pink a little bit more, because it used to be a 6-5 cut. But now you can't go men wearing pink because people who had counsel in their family, they recognize in a man that have counsel. But it's a little bit more competitive now like it used to be. They talk about all kind of doing that month of counsel awareness. And if you be in them seminars, you could hear all different types. Then people come out and say that they got it, they recognize it, and they'll put on big things. City need to do a big thing, you really know that. For council for everybody, they have a council walk. High school used to do that, councilman too, but they got out of it, so they turned it over to the city. Now, so it's a big awareness right now than it was used to be, but now we feel a little bit more on that. But we still got ways to go, but get more people, it's more conversation.
Yes, sir.
That's all, yeah, that was my, yeah. Nothing much, you know, I just, like I
And I
said,
like that idea of November.
yeah, no, it's a real thing, I'm not making it up, you can Google it. I'm not, and I do it every year, what you do.
I like
is You shave your mustache, well, you shave. You start out clean shaven on the 1st of November, and by the end of November, you grow out the mustache. And then you donate money to like cancer research or, you know, kind of.
You talk about prostate cancer, my nephew just got through it. I call him that loosely because he's my age, he's more mature, more successful. He married our niece, but he just got through radiation treatment for prostate. Thankfully, they caught it early. I think that these exam, I know, whereas yesteryear, they used to automatically do a prostate exam. Now they don't do it, right? And I asked my doctor, I was like, should y'all be doing it? She said, you want a prostate exam? I was like, no, that's all right, that's all right. And so my wife said, next time you're gonna get one. So I think, I don't know if they started to forego those exams or what, but, you know, I think if they are, I just ask.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Earlier today, we talked about how women, particularly the wives and the significant others, can be supportive in that area. And same vice versa. You talked about breast cancer as well.
Yes.
And how men can be supportive of even women. If we just knew,
Yes.
you know, it just be educated. Thank you so much for that, sir.
No, I'm surprised to hear that. I think there's a significant amount of information out and about in conversations all the time. I'm always surprised to hear about people that let it get to stage 4 or something before they take any action. But I mean, there's always people that slip through the cracks, but I don't think it's because there's a lack of information out there being available. Now do you get an annual checkup? That's a whole different ballgame. I get the finger and the PSA.
Now, let me ask you all this. So I get VA care, right? So I haven't gotten a civilian physical living memory, but with VA, they take blood and they test for everything under the sun. Do they take blood tests nowadays?
Yeah.
Like, okay, so they're doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The big do every 5 years, big do every 5 years, you have to do a cancer thing, they check the prostate and all that stuff, and you on the animals thing, but mostly it's on 5 year continuing to see where you at as a kid, so when you go there, you can private doctor, we have something like we have,
That's good.
Only I know that is now politics.
Yep, and the reason I was asking, because before I got into military care, like civilian care, I never had a blood test. So, and apparently blood test, but anyways, I'm just curious about that, so.
Well, and also.
Well, most of the time they give that to you first. They'll give that to you first, once you go to your doctor, that's the first one, the thing they're gonna do, check you out, to see where you at, but they'll know how to treat you, you can get your primary doctor, they're gonna make sure you go through all the stages. And they give that little test is gonna be, you have to clean yourself out. You have to take that little stuff, 24 hours, and clean you out when you do that.
But,
That's it for me.
I think we all need to check about prostate cancer, and my doctor wasn't talking to me, he said it was better, go and get it from blood. Something wrong with you, we will detect it at the time, and you're gonna work. Can happen to anyone.
Yeah.
and as you get older, we need to follow up a little bit more frequently as well. I mean, I know when we're young, you know, we feel like we can conquer the world, we're invincible, you know. But when we get older, we have to be a little bit more conscious. Then we have to move them in.
Most people know.
Okay.
Most people know about cancer, they don't tell you because they even got that information, they hold it back until they can't go nowhere. Most of these people already got that information from their doctor. And they don't share that with you until you get too bad. So that's where the problem is.
As a sidebar, you military?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you 100%?
About 80%.
So just as another part of the conversation, every Thursday at 12 p.m. here, we have a Zoom specifically for veterans. And we had the same thing like we have during 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. We have a word, then we have a mental health piece, but then we go right into getting veterans, veterans. We have 2 or 3 subject matter experts that come on. And they talk about specifically on how to get veterans from 80 to 100, from 0 to 50, and get all of the benefits, not only for them, but also for their spouses and for their families as well. So I want to give you those, I wanted to know, thank you. Yes, sir. All right, excellent. So pathways to success from K through 12 through continuing education. Well, Lifeline University, we have a K through 12 motif, and we have our Hernando School Board District number is 9828. So we are operating inside of the Hernando School Board District area through K through 12. And we do have at least 2 students. I was hoping that they were going to be here as well, Brother Jordan and Brother Ruby. So please keep them and your positive thoughts. But we do have open enrollment. It is on online motif where we come alongside of our marginalized students, homeschool students, so that they may be able to have access to fair and solid education as well, as opposed to those who are going traditionally. Publishing, we'll just table that. Community relations, from the Exalted Rule. Exalted Rule is not here, but just to follow up, the Frederick Keller Elks Lodge, we are celebrating up in Jacksonville. We're having our national convention right now, and on Saturday, we have a candidate who's going to be competing in our oratorical contest. Her name is Dariana Mobley. She is a student here at Hernando High School. She is one of my mentees. I've been mentoring her for the past 5 years. And she will be competing on a national level, national oratorical contest from Frederick Keller Elks. Has turned out several oratorical winners throughout the years. And I know that Brother Imani and Brother Kojak know a little bit more about it. Does anybody want to talk, just speak on the oratorical contest and what it means to the community? No.
It's just about education, get you to go to college, the FBI, want to get in there. So it's just based on put you up and give you some money to help you out to go to school with you get there. But you overall win, they give you a free ride, just like after that stuff. And it compares for a free ride, you make it at the top.
Yeah, I think that top is about what, $7,500, $10,000, something like that.
Yeah, you pay for your whole 4 years when you make it at the top.
It's a scholarship, but it's kind of prorated based on what the kids qualify out of grant and a Pell grant and stuff like that. So they have been struggling with it to try to make it kind of to work out. But some of the awards ended up being tremendously large. And for those kids to get a scholarship, they have to report it on their Pell grant application. And then they determine how much that you will be getting federal aid.
They make you put it before you apply for a Pell Grant, say that.
Well, they're gonna make sure you have applied and completed that as well.
Okay, good.
And they have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to do that.
Jens, if I could interrupt, please, just real quick.
Sure.
I'm real proud to be on the board of directors of the Hernando County Education Foundation. And anytime you've got some, kids coming out of high school that, because we'll put them through, we got a lady up there, her name's Demetra, she's a neighbor, and she used to do all this stuff for college. She would take them on personally, walk them through there's all kind of tons of money that it just doesn't get claimed. I even, I was talking to Tina, the director, and I brought forth some people that, looking for some college money. And she said, here's our list. She said, you know what, tell them, even if they don't quite qualify, tell them to apply, because sometimes people don't even apply. So, please,
Hernando, give it to me again.
Oh, it's the Hernando County Education Foundation.
That's when you got to pay $1,000 to be part of it. We'll be,
No, you.
But no, you still be involved.
So we can cover
I'm
that.
talking about the board, I'm talking about being on the board, yeah.
I can cover that.
Raise much money.
We can cover that. I know you got, I know I can come to you for a loan.
We got that. The education foundation, we went there, that's how we know so much about it. You have to pay again, you have to keep raising so much money and all this stuff.
Yeah,
You don't maybe have to
all of
pay.
those,
Yeah.
all of those girls came out of this community, Mimi, Bonnie, Lakeisha, all of them come out of the community and been nurtured in
The general, can we say Letitia Kizzy?
Yeah,
Call
kids.
call it a general.
Yeah, I'm proud of kids. I've seen kids at chamber meetings and how she carried herself and how she handled herself and how she spoke. I told my dad how I felt about it. Too. Really extremely, positive and confident in all of the kids.
And she a house member, so we know all about this program, so we have people in there, they be trying to get up a match. Get a foundation, you match with them, they give you so much, you got to help so much in there. They brought into the meeting stuff, so we know about the foundation a little bit, not put it down, I'm just telling you, the steps you got.
No, that's good. This is good.
The elevator.
So what are the steps? So what do we do? What are the steps of application?
Just call up, you can get online and do it there, but I would recommend just calling up there, whoever answers the phone. Just say, hey, Burton Malall, you're a board member. I know all those ladies, we know, we love those ladies. But say Burton suggested it, I reach out, he said, I've got a child here that, could really use some help. Can we bring this child up there, have y'all, do some looking for us? And they'll, Demetrius is, I think she's the one that she'll take that child on personally as a counselor and she'll walk them through everything. It really is a good resource.
Yes, yeah, the tremendous financial aid.
They know about that. They know about that. They know about
Yes.
this.
Okay.
That's some kind of,
Are they still on Emerson Road there?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
right,
Are they still on Emerson Road?
yeah, for right now,
Oh, for right now?
right now.
good.
On the bus in the back there, is that their bus?
It's, what color's the bus?
I don't, maybe it was a white or greenish looking like, I saw it like this.
Cause I was in my leadership 22 class, overhauled that bus. But ours was black, though. So if it's white or yellow, that's not us. But
All
no,
right.
I don't know if it's, the Education Foundation it's sort of legally part, but not of the school system, so they can get on, I'm sure they just got a spare bus out there. It may not be absolutely their property, but pretty much.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
All right, moving right along, Coach Hamilton Little League. The Little League, ended, it was the last Saturday in July, we occupied, the entire month of July, every single Saturday. It was 4 Saturdays, and at the end, we did celebrate all of the kids who participated. We had about 17 kids that participated. We gave them a little medal. We gave them some cupcakes and some ice cream, some hot dogs and hamburgers, and we took nice pictures of them and what have you. We also got the families that were involved as well. And so we closed, I believe it was the first time that I ever did anything like that here in this community. And I believe it was a good start. I believe we are off to a good start, and we got plans to come back in the fall and to do it again. And it was T-ball this time, so it was for the kids. It was kids that was of kid age, right? But we're looking to come back and do something for the teenagers and the kids in the fall as well.
In the fall?
Yeah, they're looking to do
We'll
it.
have phone ball down, we're gonna try to do softball. They're gonna try to fix the playground in the fall time. So I'm gonna put new, pushes down there, so we were waiting until summer will go to do the playground. Get going. Then they're gonna try to do, so you got, baseball and football, but we wanna make sure they put clubs down there. And so they got to start using it, so they got to have some kind of occupation level where we want that.
Well, that's where I was gonna go, Kodiak touched on it, when I went down there that Saturday to the Little League game,
Yes,
It's actually
in fact,
appalled. I was
thank you for
appalled
coming.
How that park was in the condition of it. There was weeds in the playground. I mean, it was mess. So prior to going to it, please let me know. The kids volunteered their time. We'll bring weed whackers, we'll bring whatever we need to beautify that for the kids,
Okay.
because it is for the kids.
yes.
So,
Great,
like I said,
great,
the condition of the park that it was in for these kids to go was ridiculous. So we need
As a
to,
sidebar, that's another issue that we've been dealing with.
Okay.
Down
that becomes-
down at the park, we got the name change and things like that. But having access to it and then the conditions of it, just have been not too well kept. Not too well
That
kept
came
up.
from,
We gotta move the meeting back, Coach.
yeah, that came because, we got two operations now. You got outside people to keep the ball cut up in the main area. They got them on a different rotation. When you have something now, they didn't compare that when they need to have to cut it, when we addressed that one before. But that's when the weeds come up because they are not on a regular rotation like they do Elson Stove Park and stuff like that. And so we'll bring that back up on the 12th.
Yes,
Because all that got that part of that.
yes,
You don't get everything overnight, but we understand the process.
yes.
We got to understand when we got something now,
Well-
we want to do.
well,
And that's the
Well-
only thing happening there.
Well, we might not get everything overnight, but just give me a couple of things, maybe. And it'll have to be overnight, but you can give it to me in the daytime too. I'll take it in the daytime.
So that's big on-
Yeah, it's good, yeah,
We want to make sure it was cut
yeah.
when we have something down there, but they need to
Yeah.
make sure it's beautified.
Come on, Pam, you got something?
Go
we
ahead.
need to actually do it because. like I
Yes,
said,
that's what I'm
it
talking
was
about.
very evident. It has
That's
not
what
been
I'm
touched
talking
in
about.
years. It wasn't.
That's
just
what
a
I'm
couple
talking
weeks,
about.
It was years.
And like you said, you see how they keep up Anderson Snow, so I don't see why, what's the difference? But let me just move what's his name to Coach Hamilton luncheon. No? Okay. The removal of the ditch, well, the tree in it actually it should be removed, the tree in it, the tree removed from the ditch. That was actually on the county commissioner's agenda this past Tuesday. And so giving credit where credit is due, hopefully and prayerfully that should come to fruition in the next. Go ahead. Oh, okay. Okay.
We already discussed it. They'll give us about 5 different times about moving that tree.
Yes.
They come up with different kind of conclusions each time.
Yes.
About how come they couldn't move, because they ain't had equipment,
Yes.
they were too heavy or something like that.
Yes.
We go through the same.
Yes.
time, but they know if they gonna move the tree, so how come they gonna tell me I need to clean ditch out? That's it. I mean, you can add all that together, but they can see that they caused the damage. And just take the credit, and go down there and do it and cover it with the CRA money, put it in the plan, cover that ditch, and you can always have to worry about that and keep it cut. Put it in their budget.
And my thing is, they don't need to see already. They're already taking out taxes out of the people's dollars here already. So they just take the money that they already got. The budget is $760 million annually?
For what? Just the county alone?
Yeah, that's the county. That's the county budget.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
County did, that's why they have a big budget, but they gotta do the whole county.
Right,
So it's a budget for the whole county, but you just got to spell on it. But it's a kind of problem everywhere, not just in Southwood, you got somebody. Three wife and all them they ain't taken care of, but if you don't knock and complain, they gonna keep looking over. So you have to make it know.
Which follows the next item on the agenda, which is the overgrowth on the tree, on the fence. You know that we had to cut off the overgrowth, but now it's growing back again. And so, yes, all right. All right, follow up on the fentanyl pandemic. Jenna Davis, she's not here today. No one from Department of Health is here, nor for the Hernando Sheriff's Department. So as we move down to new business, prepare for the state appropriations and allocations. So that's coming up. The legislatures will be here in October, from what I'm understanding. And they will be doing their presentation, for us down here. And then we're supposed to be getting ready for the legislative process, which starts in January. And so I say that to say that if we are going to go for after some funding on the state side, that this is the time that we ought to, be prepared to get ready for legislative session in October, where they come down here, when Blaze come down here, Blaze,
You can go there.
yeah, who's the other, Holcomb.
Jeff Holt.
Holcomb will be here. And then we should be prepared to meet them here with all of our concerns, with our budgets and our proposals, get that all prepared. And then
And the standing room only.
in the standing room only audience, and the standing room only audience. That means that we need to get people in that place on that time.
Where is this?
It will be at the county, it will be in the chamber, in the county
Okay.
commissioner's chamber. And it'll be in October, as soon as the day come out.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the, what do you call it?
Let's,
Legislative delegation?
yes, legislative
Okay.
delegation, that's what I meant. Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you so very
No
much.
problem.
So we're preparing for legislative delegate, so standing room only.
What time frame? 09 now?
Got it. I just wanted to say.
All right, okay.
Just say, from my experience and things like that, just, having a unified political instrument to represent some one or two major issues is far more effective than this little group going up there saying something, that little group going up there saying something. They'll entertain you, but they ain't gonna give you no significant money.
Right.
So when it comes down to money, it becomes a whole different ballgame. They'll come down here to your little forums and different things. They'll come and welcome at your little events, but they ain't gonna cut you no power. But then not because they dislike you, it's because so many hands are reaching in that pot for money. And do you have enough strength in your hand to be able to pull you a few dollars out of the pot?
It's our money to begin with. anyway.
So let's,
Well, I'm telling you what it is, if you can't control it, then you.
so let's do this, let's talk about this thing for just a second. How could we create this coalition like Baba is talking about, a united coalition?
Well, what you have to do, you got to figure out. Prioritize, everybody need to prioritize, just about to go with the prioritize. What you need the most, what you go with, complete everything, not just something, prioritize your operation and that come out the same thing. Bob just got you saying, you're gonna have 2,000 things, you have a couple of issues that you prioritize and work on them.
Right.
That'd
Priority.
be good.
Yeah.
Okay, man. See.
Yes, all right, come on in. Priorities. Ms. Van?
Well, it's that, just what they're saying, you gotta prioritize it. We're saying, we got to, what is the most important issue?
Yeah.
Focus on that one, get it taken care of, move to the next one. We go at with different agendas. You're gonna get pennies.
The other,
Well, they have to, certainly you're right, sir, about a big gathering, because for one thing, they just have to, like you say, they have to prioritize. So that the sense, they have to prioritize expenses where they sense the biggest demand is coming from. And oftentimes that's that's simply the most, the biggest gatherings, best organized. And also, let's speak bluntly, people are gonna be, bigger group is gonna impact them more because they know a bigger group would hurt, they can take their jobs away. So in other words, you know what I'm saying? Even if everybody, if you're moving forward, I probably say, well, it's like, oh, I better, and I feel like I'm as fair minded as anybody, but it's only human, this is a huge group, I better pay attention to them, I ain't gonna have a job here.
And that's why
Yeah.
you're being solved now
Yeah.
by the representative of this district. Because you are no threat, you can't
Yeah.
threaten them with votes or nothing.
Yeah.
So
You gotta be able to.
Right there's the key word,
he completely ignored
key
it.
word.
So you don't have no unified campaign dishing him for his inaction and neglect of his duties and responsibilities for this community.
You
And then-
put more pressure on it.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's exactly what I told you, Reverend. It's
But
exactly
just
what
run
you said,
around.
they won't come here because there's no.
yeah,
Well, so how do we get because when I'm talking about, not just when you say here, are you talking about here because it's the black, because it's the black neighborhoods?
Well, if it's something for
The
South
district is
Brooksville,
much
it's the
bigger
district,
than,
yeah, the
district
district
is
is.
much bigger than South.
Oh,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No,
So,
it's
so
huge.
how can we mobilize the entire district as opposed to saying this
Exactly.
little area
Area.
where the blacks are?
One
Like, how can it be
Rich man.
blacks and white? I mean, like, this affects everybody. I mean, this affecting, I mean, this affects
Rich
everybody.
Manor is a huge area. Look at the neglect out there. They feel the same impact as South Brooksville. They feel neglected. They feel like the whole cause is going up. You know, Exactly. It's, you've got to have your power in your district.
Well, what happened when most people feed out what we started, they feed and get the whole deal, we get left. They come in on the tail end, but you have to forget about all that. You have, like the Bible said, you come in as a unit, not as a segregated, you come up there with the district, you have more people in there. And they'll look at that, we're not talking about, we're talking about the whole district, we're not kind of represent one side, we represent the whole district. And then most people are out into that quicker.
So do we need to do grassroots, man, and just go door to door to everybody
Well,
in
that's
the district? I'm talking about everybody, not just the black, I'm talking about the black section, the white section, the Spanish section, the, you know, Asian section. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, let's do it. I mean,
Rich Manor has some same issues.
mean,
that South
because
Brooksville
when
has.
October
You have the
comes,
same issues.
when October comes, we have to have that place filled. And they need to see where the power is, and the power has always been in the hands of the people. Always. I'm thinking about, well, I'm thinking about the time when King mobilized all them youth. You know, and he got the power to be able to change LBJ's position and in fact, we're celebrating the 60th year of the Civil Rights Act just being passed and the Voting Rights Act being passed. That was all grassroots movement. Power to the people, the Harlem Renaissance.
Oh, wait.
What? I know you're going to go there. Yes, sir. Hey.
Got to be careful with that kind of rhetoric. When Miss Mason pulled her money out the Harlem Renaissance, it died.
I understand.
She was a Jewish.
I understand. Yeah.
That funded the thing.
The problem is that it doesn't affect them directly.
Yeah.
Involvement doesn't happen. Just like I went to a meeting here over at Ridge Manor, they had one at Ken Lake. Again, the times weren't convenient for people, but 2 people showed up. 2 people out of a whole district showed up over, infrastructure and the development.
But I like this thing what the Bible said. I like this thing when he said.
But let me share something with you. Now, when I was running Kennedy Park, the kids out at Spring Hill wanted something. Maybe something for soccer, because they never planned for soccer. They build developments and then they said, oh, we better save some space for soccer field. And you kick the balls in people's backyards and everything like that. They put the kids in soccer uniform and they send them up to the county commission meeting.
That's what they all do.
We did that with Ernie Weaver.
Yeah.
We did that with Ernie Weaver.
they
We
sent
pulled
them
all
up
the
there.
kids from school that
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
put them in their baseball uniforms.
Send 'em up there. You got action.
Because my grandson was
Yeah, you
one
got
that
it.
was like backwards.
So if we took them same little league boys up there.
And 5 times that many.
Yeah.
And be able
And
to
the
keep-
parents.
And be able to keep the coalition together, not for one time, but the next time you grow it, and the next time you grow it after that, because they ain't gonna stick together, that's the history. It's just like this, initially you had a good little group, but as the age, people just start fading away.
This is smaller.
So how do you sustain that momentum?
Yeah, that's what I'm interested in.
Well,
We have hold on for a second, I know that see, well, she was there.
She had fun of me, I came up and talked, I know she had to go for something.
Yeah.
On that reason there, you have to be able to help people that buy into not possible. They buy into possible, everything will stop. But if you could keep it on time frame, and keep it another bit, you get more people coming. Because you stand to that time frame. When you go on time frame, you get into somebody else's time. But the key thing is keep it on time frame. If it's an hour, do 58 minutes and be done. People will come back because they know they got 2 more minutes to play.
All right, so
That's very important.
we're gonna keep it, I'm glad you said that, we're gonna keep it moving then right now. Then,
When you see results, get more excited.
Mhm.
Okay, they come every month to this
Mhm,
and
mhm.
we do the same thing. We talk about it. You've got to have action. You've got to have talk. You've got to show that we're moving forward.
What is one thing have you achieved? You can't claim Kennedy Park because that belongs to Pastors United and they are not unified with this group.
That's right.
So what can you claim, so to speak, like that? So that's a whole sideshow of them doing their own thing, grandstanding on their own.
Mhm.
So what one thing can this group do? So she was talking, if you just leave here and identify strategic players in every voting precinct in this district, that's something you can say you're beginning to build. You ain't gonna change it overnight, and you ain't gonna change it in the next 90 days.
But one thing you can.
Hold on, identify what?
Strategic partners in every one of the precincts in this district. You know what I'm saying? Who are the leaders in the various areas, so to speak? Who can you contact? Who share common interests with you?
Exactly.
Hold on. How many districts do we have?
5.
Okay,
So, but just start with one, this 5, right? District 5?
Right, it's just a guy, right?
Okay, just trying to identify the ones in District 5. You can't cover the whole county.
District 5 is big, so.
Yeah, District 5 is big. I mean, there's a voting precinct here, and used to be one in Kennedy Park.
They changed it to
Concern.
right here,
He's right. Pick a
well, you know, we got one right here, right?
But there's others.
In
There's
District 5,
Protestant churches
in
that.
District 5. Okay, hold on for a second, Ms. Pam. Hold on for a second, Ms. Pam.
Possible to organize a church coalition.
Say what now?
Church coalition. So we
Yeah,
can talk to them. What's the agenda?
Yeah, but they are.
Have them vote. And come up with their ideas.
Yeah, they're one constituents of the block. They are not the only constituent of the block.
But at least he identified, okay, that's one constituent,
Yeah.
okay, all right, we getting somewhere,
The other thing I want to say in regards to the,
because we're gonna do this, we're doing this, when
No,
we leave here, we're gonna identify, just what he says, at
No,
least one person in each district, go ahead.
the one thing I want to say as far as the legislative delegation is most of the people are from nonprofits. So, and I'm not saying make this a nonprofit, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's not really, you don't get the general public sometimes with those meetings. I'm only, one citizen out of 10,000 people in this county. But, I wanted to let you know, be prepared for that. Because
Okay.
that was brought up last time they convened. It was,
Thank
most people were,
Very valuable information,
Yes.
thank you.
And they have legislative sponsors for what they want. So if you ain't got somebody to sponsor your initiative, it doesn't go to committee, it doesn't get anywhere.
Yes,
So
sir.
you need to, another thing you do, out of your legislative delegation, you find out what committees they have been assigned to. So you've got to have somebody to carry it for you. They may be carrying other legislation as well too. So you have to build those relationships. If you're talking about getting something on the state level. And you have to stay on top of them. You have to talk to them, invite them, and find all kinds of different ways. And hopefully it doesn't get shot down if they put it in and you need to get a sponsor on both sides. You have one on the Senate side and one on the House side.
Right.
But you're identifying one problem
One-
and one issue.
Yeah.
And I see, and, you know, just listening, we're trying to tackle the whole county. We're trying to tackle every single issue there is.
Well,
We need to take on
well,
one thing
this
at a time.
issue here, you definitely know about the infrastructure of Southfield has to change. I
So
mean,
if, you know, even if
yeah.
that's what you wanna make that focus,
yes,
that should
yes,
be
yes,
really
this,
focused
this,
right
this
now.
plan here,
Decide what you're going to make your focus on, pick that and go with it. When that's completed or near completion, move on to the next.
yes.
And
Problem.
in order to get it through, you're gonna have to work with county commissioners, otherwise they're gonna block it, it ain't going nowhere.
Well, you're absolutely right, and so that's why we have hopefully 2 future county commissioners right here. So we
Okay,
have,
what's nice about it, you got 2 that are involved in the community right here. Burton's been involved in the community that's what you need, people that are out there doing the late work versus someone who wants to sit behind the desk. But win or lose, I'm still gonna be in the community, I'm
Yeah.
still gonna go forward, working, doing my part as a community member.
And you have to figure out who is representing up to Tallahassee that the county is pushing up there, lobby for them. You get that person there, you know how to get more rules and stuff, but you
yeah.
gotta understand them people that gonna be working for the county, make it work. for the city.
Good luck with them that way.
All right,
They call it
I
lobby.
got 4:23.
Yeah,
We gotta be out of here in the next few minutes, so listen here.
Go ahead.
The South Brookfield CRA update, do you have an update?
All they doing have to be,
Okay, we've already talked about, the Coach Livingston Hamilton Park fall programs. We already talked about Fitchburg NAACP Youth Council elected candidates. We have not talked about that. The debate was canceled. And we are planning to do another one in the future to see exactly what happens right after
what debate,
the,
county.
candidates debate.
how many of those things you had?
But we didn't have a debate
We had 2,
yet.
actually.
We had 2 forums
Okay,
where candidates was able to present. But now that we're going to narrow down to actually individuals who are running and for office for the general,
So I
we
was
should,
primary.
we should have, we're gonna have debates.
Sure.
All right,
You need
so
time
we
limits
be
on that.
debating.
I
Okay,
did
go
not
ahead.
need time limits on that just because of what happened last time. And I shared with you what was told from the last one, when nobody showed up.
I just didn't know about it. right?
Well, a lot of them
Yeah.
did, but the thing was the night of a first Fernando week also. That's where they navigated.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, because I made mention to them, you know, I go, well, aren't you gonna go over there? And they all was like, children. And like I said, they're going to go where the demographics of the vote are. And unfortunately, and Angel found that out with me too. It is not a diverse group over on this side. It's pretty one-sided. Even though there are people in other political affiliations, the majority, I mean,
Yeah.
probably out of 300 houses, 275 to 280 were Democratic.
And what I'm hearing that the Republican candidates. So there's no need for them to come over here because everybody is Democrat, ain't nobody gonna go for them anyway.
maybe that's part of it, but on the other half, they don't. Not solely because everybody's Democrat, it's because they can win without the support of this community.
Well, that's it. They're going where the vote is. They're gonna go where the vote.
Yeah,
If I
Once
may,
again, that goes back to organizing, go ahead.
yes, sir. If I may, a couple of things I've seen in the past, my father, I'm from Warren Park in northeast Orlando. Right? That's
I know
across
where
town.
it is.
That's across town from Eagle, right next to Edenville.
Yeah,
And, if I'm at, the African American community, they've had a lot of power over there around like Evans. Y'all made NBA fan, y'all remember Darryl Dawkins? Okay, his, little brother, that's, you say that loosely because he's as big as Darryl. But my dad knew him, and what he would do is he would get us all the heads of the churches. He organized all the heads of the churches, and the churches got all their congregations and saying, look, if you want influence, you must vote. And they would get, I've seen it all over the state, they would get,
It's illegal.
that's the way they do it.
It's illegal. That's what I was told.
Well,
No,
hold on, here, let me clear up, let me clear up the
We
misnomer.
call it soul
Let-
to the soul.
Yeah,
Like I
Yeah.
say, I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah, so-
But Dad said what Reverend Dawkins would do, he would get all and they would all get buses at every
They got
church,
the-
and they would bus the whole community.
To the poor, to the
Over the
poor.
pole.
From
And all the
church, we go
officials
to the
do,
poll.
it's not partisan.
So you aren't endorsing anyone,
Yeah, you're not endorsing it.
you were supporting the democratic process.
Yeah.
One person, one vote.
Yeah.
No, they would just get everybody to the churches,
that's
and
it.
then the church would do the rest, the
Yeah.
church would get to the poll.
Yeah.
We have to do that ourselves before,
Yeah.
all that poll work,
It's just like a
that we have
nonprofit.
somebody sign it, and they used to, all the churches used to go down after church, they go and vote that day, that's where you'll have it, with the bands and stuff.
Yeah,
But we have did that before, like.
there's a day they call whatever it is, souls to the polls.
Right, I heard of that.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, Dad said, we just lived in, we just grew up in this, white bread little
Yeah.
town. He said, he knew Reverend Dawkins from around town, he trust me, any public officials in the county because they
Sometimes-
organized so well, Reverend Dawkins taught the public officials.
Sometimes we have those kind
Because they
of,
organized so well.
sometimes we have those kind of leaders in the community that have that kind of influence.
Yeah, it's hard, you know what, the rarest and most precious talent, and I darn sure don't have it, never will have it, is to be an organizer.
Yeah.
That's, you say what you want, but that's what in Goli is so brilliant, easy, free, organized.
Yeah.
And it's a rare talent, like you
Yeah,
say.
they can give people.
Yeah.
Who-
Well, let me tell you,
it's a rare- I
something,
don't-
let me tell you something,
Yeah.
let me tell you something, I'm inspired today.
Yeah.
You hear me? And I thank you all for all of your input. And if anybody knows God and me, I got some notes here, and we're gonna organize. We're gonna organize. We have to, because we have to. This is our time.
Yeah, otherwise, people are nowhere.
That's right. So, Coach Hamilton, fall private programs, we already talked about that. We already talked about, the debate, right? We're going to plan for that in the future. And then the oral talk contest, we already talked about that, as well. So for the last minute, I want to introduce a young lady who came in a little late. That's fine. Her name is Miss Demetria.
Hello.
And
Hello.
she is the president and founder of
Safe Spaces of Tampa Bay.
Safe Spaces of Tampa Bay. Tell us what Safe Spaces of Tampa Bay.
So Safe Spaces of Tampa Bay, we are an advocate for children and young adults, especially. And, I just started this organization, still putting things in place. But, we will be working with parents, and teaching them, IEP. Sometimes they don't know certain things, that they do qualify with IEPs and their children. Resting, if they need, some time away from their child on the weekend. We'll provide that service for 4 hours. And just getting information out there to them that they may not know about.
Good stuff. Individuals with special needs, disabilities,
Yes.
okay.
Autism,
Mhm.
development, yes. And developmental delay. So all of those in those categories.
Excellent stuff. Well, thank you for being here. How could we come alongside you and support you?
So you.
Or if anyone wants to come alongside you and support you, how would they be able to do that?
Sure. I do have a survey on my website. That,
You have a website?
yes,
What's your website?
is, Safe Spaces of Tampa Bay Inc.com. And I can also give you, a card, business card, and it has the website.
You got a business card?
Yes.
All right. Good enough.
Depending on what they need.
Well, thank you so much. Anybody have any questions for?
No, we just need to get a meeting come for everybody leave.
All
So when you close the meeting, everybody will be gone.
right then. Well, I'm going to adjourn this. I'm going to entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting, and the next meeting, it looks like on the schedule will be September 12th. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting.
In prep, you turn me down to prep, like you always do.
Okay.
Prep.
All right,
Says who?
you're absolutely right.
We got bylaws that say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
That's all right. Come on. Come on, let us end with a word. Prayer is good. Come on, prayers out, Deacon.
Oh,
Go.
Father, thank you for that. Talking today, this week, and bless everyone. This in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you all. Blessings.
Excuse me, I didn't get your name. What is your name? Oh, my name's Bert. Yes, sir. It's great to see you, man. And,